Hey life group leaders, thanks for tuning in to this second video in this 3-part series. If you haven't already watched the first one, I highly recommend you look at that one first because it gives the whole why and big picture behind what we're about to be doing over the next 10 to 12 to 14 weeks here at the Orchard Church. I really want you to be tuned in because you are the heartbeat of the Orchard Church. And I want you to make sure that you know why we're doing all this. We really want to prepare our people for any upcoming economic storm that may be about to hit our nation. We also want to better position our church to respond to the call of God, and we want to create a growth engine for your life group. So watch that first video, get all those details, and then watch this second video that's about our dynamics in our life groups that are about to change in a big way. So here we go with video number 2. I am really excited that the Orchard Church is going to be offering Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University to anyone and everyone that wants to go through it. We really believe that this course is the best course out there to help people cultivate God's perspective on money in their life. This isn't about getting rich quick. This isn't about training people to tithe. This is about cultivating God's view of money and stewardship in your life. It's really important. Do you know who Dave Ramsey is? He's a nationally known financial expert, and he's got books, he's got a radio show, he's got an internet presence, he's got classes, all kinds of great stuff. In fact, I'd like you to watch this short 1.5-minute little video clip from his website. Man, that's really powerful, isn't it? This is where we want our people to be. We really want our people to change their financial process and planning and to turn around their personal financial life. This is going to be huge, but it's going to change our life group dynamics for about 10 weeks. And that's what I want to talk about here in this video. I want to talk about how that's all going to work for us. Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University is a 10-week course that everybody in all of our life groups can go through. It's open to everyone. We're going to schedule about 2 hours per week to be involved in the class. The class is comprised of a DVD video that we'll be watching and a workbook for each family with homework to complete. This is really a transformational class that I know everybody will like going through. It's going to start on the week of April the 10th. That's the week right after spring break. It's not immediately following Easter, but it's right after spring break. We didn't want to start it before or during spring break because so many people travel during that time. So we're starting it right after, and it's 10 weeks long. So it'll take us all the way up to the week of June the 12th. So it's going to take up all of springtime. It's really going to change the dynamics of your group because, number one, we're not going to be going through the typical format that we do in life groups where we kind of talk through the Sunday morning message and ask deeper questions about the Sunday morning topic. It's going to change our dynamic because we're going to be going through this class for these 10 weeks, and everybody's got homework to do in the class. It's also going to change the dynamics of our group for a couple of big reasons, and they both come down to this. Dave's class ain't cheap. All right, it's just not cheap. In fact, I think it's the most expensive one out there. But do you believe that you get what you pay for? I do. In general, I think that you do get what you pay for. In fact, I've got a couple of friends that have gone through this class on a personal level, and they've paid the cash up front for it, and they have told me that by far it's the best money they've ever spent in their whole life. This class will transform people's finances, as you saw in the video clip earlier. So the cost factors are two. There's two main cost factors for us. The first cost factor is the course material itself. You pay by the group. Yeah, so we want all of our groups to go through this course, but for each group we got to buy group material. It's $367 per course material, and that means if we put all 13 of our groups through the class, that means the Orchard Church has got to pay close to $5,000 up front to be able to get everybody through the class. That's a lot of change. And we talked to these guys about it at Financial Peace University, and they recommended we take the church strategy on this. That for these 10 weeks, instead of putting all 13 groups individually through it, let's combine groups. And let's only offer this class for all of our groups 3 nights per week. So we're going to do exactly that. We're going to combine groups for 3 groups during this time, and we're going to offer it on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights. Now I know some of you guys, I know it's going to be hard for you, it's going to be inconvenient, but it's only 10 weeks, and it will be transformational in everybody's lives. I'm going to go through it. My life group meets on Monday. We're going to switch to either Sunday or Tuesday, and I'm going to be in on this thing for 10 weeks, even though it's going to be hard for us. If we do that, there's several big advantages to taking this church route. Number one, obviously, it reduces the church's cost down to about $1,100. Big difference cost-wise. We believe in this, and we think that it's worth that investment. Second thing is, it will allow us to provide some childcare in ways that we couldn't do for 13 individual groups. It'll help us to be able to do it for 3, though, in a much easier fashion. And the third way is simply because when we have this at the church on one of these 3 nights, it'll be a much easier access for people who currently are not in life groups. You know, we got a bunch of people at our church that are attending, but not in a group right now. And my hope is that they will come for 10 weeks and they will sit next to you. They're going to sit next to people in your group. And my hope and my prayer is that you and your group will be super intentional during all 10 of these weeks to love on those people, to befriend them, to make them part of your family, so that when they get to the end of the 10 weeks, they won't be able to wait to get to your life group. So I hope that you and I will both be very, very intentional about building relationships with people during this time. So it's got some huge advantages this way. That's the first cost obstacle. The second cost obstacle that's going to change our dynamics is the family material. Yeah, you don't just pay by the group, but you pay by the family. Yeah, Financial Peace University requires that every family unit that participates in this class, they each individually pay $100 per family unit. Now, your first thought is the same as my first thought. $100? That may be a deal breaker for a lot of people. I mean, we're trying to transform our finances and get ahead, not get farther behind. I understand that. And yeah, that may be kind of a big deal breaker, but here's what they've told us. They've told us that your time investment will follow your money investment, right? In other words, if you don't have any money in, you don't feel obligated to give the time. If you don't have any skin in the game, it doesn't have any value in your life. And so they've kind of set this requirement up to kind of help make sure people complete the class. So I like it for that reason. I understand that it has more value if you have to invest in it. So $100 for 10 weeks, that's $10 a week. It's not that bad. And in the third video, I'm going to explain how we have created some strategies to help people get past that $100 barrier. So we'll talk about that in the third video. And I really think that because of the strategies involved, we'll be able to get as many people as want to into this important class, and it'll be transformative for all. So that's really the main details on what this is really all about. It's going to be a 10-week long course from Dave Ramsey that begins on April the 10th, or the week of April the 10th. We're going to be having 3 groups. All of us will be combining into 3 groups, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and each group can pick their own night. Now, understand, we have a maximum capacity that we can handle in the auditorium around tables, and so we can first come, first serve, and fill each night as best as we can. So work with us on that a little bit. We will have it there at the Orchard Church. We'll provide childcare, and we hope that this will foster group integration for people who aren't currently in groups. We'll talk about food at that thing on the next video. I know that's probably your next question. Families each pay $100 to be involved in this, but we have some strategies that we'll go over in the next video to help them overcome that expensive obstacle. And all this wraps up on June the 12th, or the week of June the 12th, and we return to our regularly scheduled life groups at that time. So I hope that kind of answers everything for you and clears everything up as much as possible. If you have any questions that that are still outstanding that you haven't asked yet, send them to me at stevedusek@orchardlj.com. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video about your top 10 questions surrounding this whole life group change over the next 10 weeks. It's going to be great. Thank you so much for all that you do. God bless you. See you on the next video.